Seems like every year the games get bigger, miniatures, plastic, all this stuff. I just don't care about any of that stuff. I find the older I get, the more I keep looking back in history rather than towards the future. Games for me, I think where it really comes from is that games for me are mechanical. I play games primarily for the mechanisms or the mechanics. How do you call that? I'm not quite sure. Not the story so much, but the mechanisms. I don't care about storytelling in my games or the theme or the art. So anyway, all of this is to say, I love the mechanisms in games. And so what better genre of game is there than abstract games? That's why we cover so many of them on this channel. It's just the bare bones of a game, There's no flashy components, and yet they are, in my opinion, much more beautiful than any other modern board game today because of their simplicity. So humans have been playing games since the dawn of time, and today we are looking at one of the very oldest. It's called Oware. At least that's one of the many, many names that it has. Now, this is the board. You've been looking at a blank board the whole time, but this is the game. Now, a lot of people see this board and they think that it's Mancala. And in fact, you'll see this version that I got, it even says Mancala. Here's the box, so you can kind of get an idea of what the box looks like. I bought this on Amazon. It's from HB3F. I guess this is what it looks like. And you know what? I'm pretty happy with this. I actually think it's really beautiful. It's, solid wood here. I don't really want to move it because it's center frame here, but, it's solid wood. There's some heft to it. I'm pretty happy with it. And it comes with these, little wooden balls here. We're going to call them seeds from here on out. But yeah, so I bought this. And it's called Mancala. But I do not play Mancala with this set because Mancala is not really a good game. It's something that I remember playing as a kid. Going to summer camp, that really is an Americanized version of a much older game. This game that we'll be talking about today called Oware. And, Oware has many different names. It has many different rules variations because this family of games is called Kala, which is, I guess where Mancala comes from. But within the Kala family, there's a ton of different versions. There's one called Bow, I believe, and that's like the most complicated one, supposedly. I haven't played that. My friend actually has a board that he purchased when he went to, I forget the name of the country, but some African country he went, and he actually got a hold of a board. So I may have that on the channel. I may call him up and see if we can figure out how to play that game together. He doesn't know how it's played, but I saw the board in his house and I asked him about it. So I'm really interested in checking out Bow. But that's a different game. Today we're going to talk about a game that I know and I love, and it comes from Africa. In fact, it's often referred to as African chess. And like chess, I believe this game is incredibly strategic. And that becomes apparent with each play. This is one of those games that grows on you, I'll be honest. My first encounter with it was pretty underwhelming. I didn't see it. I really didn't see the game for what it was. I didn't see the fun, the strategy, but like a fine wine, it only gets better with age. The more I play, the more possibilities I see in this game. I really do enjoy it. I just got this game, so I'm pretty high on it right now. And I have been playing, I don't know, 5 games a day. I've been playing against against a bot. I set up this board, but I'll play against a bot on my phone. But I'll be looking at this physical real life board, but copying the moves of the bot on my phone. And that's how I've been playing, because my wife, she hasn't played with me yet. But I'm gonna force her to do it any night now. We'll introduce her to the game. But for now, I've been playing it on my phone, and I've just been really, really enjoying it. I've been once I beat one level of difficulty, then I'll go to the next difficulty. Right now I'm on level 4. There's a ton of levels, but yeah, this is a fun game. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Wanted to get into it today. So as I said, the more I play, the more possibilities I see. I do believe there probably will be a ceiling, in terms of exploration. But for right now, I am really enjoying the ride. I feel like there's more to see, there's more to explore, and there's even things called Grand Slams that we'll get into that are really fun if you can make them happen. It probably isn't as deep as chess. That's probably the case, I'm assuming. It might not be as deep as chess. It might not be, but it certainly deserves respect and a spot alongside chess as one of the greatest games ever created. It's also just super unique from all those other abstracts. There's nothing else like it, Unlike those other games, this game is like satisfying to play. It's like a fidget spinner, It's like the tactileness of the thing is so pleasurable. I just like the act of like picking up the seeds from a pit and just dropping them into each pit. It's like, in a rhythmic fashion. It's like hypnotic, and it's just a real pleasure. So, there's like some unique elements to this game that no other abstract will give you. So I think that's really cool. As you can see, this game comes with a bunch more seeds. We're not going to use those because, again, we're not playing Mancala. We are playing Oware. So let's get into Oware. I am not an expert, so I'm going to teach you the game how I understand it. This is the way that I've learned to play the game from the Jostly app on the iPhone. It's got a bunch of abstract games, and so I learned it on that app. And it's called Oware there, or actually I think it's called Oware with an A, but I've seen it most often spelled with an O, Oware. So, in Oware, you have 4 seeds in each pit, and the objective of the game is to capture as many seeds as you can. And you capture by sowing your seeds into a pit of a very specific number of seeds. So let's just talk about sowing. Sowing means you take all the seeds from any pit on your home row. So these 6 on my side are my home row pits, and this row is my opponent's. So you just pick up all the seeds. You have to pick up all the seeds from any of your pits, and then you're going to move in a circle anti-clockwise. So we're going to go this way to the right, and you have to drop 1 seed in each pit along the way. So right now I have 4 seeds, so we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I stop. So right now nothing happens. Everything seems to be pretty boring right now, but there's a lot here. There's a lot more than meets the eye. So that's how you sow. But the objective is to end your turn on your opponent's row. And so let's just set up something here. Let's say it was something like this. Yeah, I still have to count. I'm not an expert yet. So let's say that it's my turn, and you can see here there is a pit with only one seed, and that is a vulnerable pit. All these other ones, this one's got 4, 5 seeds, 5 seeds, 5 seeds, but this one's only got 1. That's vulnerable, okay? Kind of like backgammon in that way. Think of it like a point. That's a what do they call them? Blots? Is that what they're called in backgammon? It's almost like a blot. Okay, so right now we're gonna sow 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is my last seed, 5. So I finished my turn in a pit on my opponent's row, and there were only 2. And so that means that I can capture all of the seeds in that pit. And that's how you capture. If you finish your turn in a pit with 2 or 3, you capture. And the amazing thing, something else can happen. Let's go back. Let's say we had something like this. Okay? Say this was the situation happening. I would choose this pit because watch this. I can take my turn and look at this. This has 2, this has 2, and this has 2. You can look back to all the pits preceding where you finished, and if there are 2 or 3, in each one you can capture. So I haven't just got 2. I've got 2, 4, and 6. So this is my, I think they're called stores or houses, I think. Stores, we'll call them. That's where you keep the captured seeds. And so the objective of the game is to capture more than half of the seeds in the game. So that's more than 24. So if I get 25, the first to 25, 26, 27, anything above 24, the moment you do that, you win. So that's the objective. And it's not random. There is a lot of strategy here because you're trying. It's kind of like backgammon in a way because you're moving around the board and you're trying to make sure that your pits on your home row are not vulnerable. You don't want pits with a low count. You don't want 1s and 2s because your opponent can come along and capture. So they've just captured 3, 2. That doesn't count because it's just 1. So you really want to be careful on what you're leaving vulnerable. And also, you don't want to seed a pit too much because if you have too many seeds in a pit, you'll loop around. You want to finish your turn somewhere on your opponent's side. But if you have so many pits, you'll just go around in a loop. And look at this. You might end up seeding your own. Sorry, all you can see is my big hand here. But you might loop around and end up seeding your own home row. And let's say it was something like this. I mean, imagine this guy has, something like 4 here. I mean, they will do just an incredible move here. Let's say they had 5 here. They might do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. I mean, they are just going to wipe you out. So you really have to think about what you're planning. There's a lot of depth here. And I have, just yesterday, for the first time, against the level 4 bot, again, that might be embarrassing. I might be terrible, but that's where I'm at right now. I have yet to beat the level 4 bot on the Jostly iPhone app. But just yesterday, for the first time, I got, let's see if I can just kind of show this here. I got a Grand Slam. And this is a grand slam. When you knock out all the opponent's home row, that is like a euphoric experience. And since I got that, like, this game is like for sure top 5 games, one of my favorite games. It was so much fun to get a grand slam in Oware. So I am totally digging this. All right, let's talk about the history of Oware. According to my research, there are many places that state this as one of the possible candidates for the oldest known board game that's still widely played across the globe today. I've found some places that say that, you know, its legacy stretches back over 7,000 years, which is pretty wild. And I've also heard the same thing being said about Go. So it's one of the oldest, for sure. And that's because it's part of, you know, the Pit and Pebbles kind of family of games that I mentioned earlier, like the Kala family, I guess. And yeah, it's just it's still popular today because it's a great game. The historian John B. Haggerty, he observed that the game has persisted for 7,000 years in widely separated areas all over the globe. And though its precise origin, you know, we're not quite sure. It's shrouded, you know, in mystery. It's been lost to time. It is widely accepted that Africa serves as its cultural birthplace. June 14th, 1963, Time magazine, they did an article talking about the game's roots, the ancient roots, and according to that, there was an ancient Syrian city of Aleppo. There was a massive rock which bared intricate carvings of 2 rows of pits with larger hollows at each end. So much like the board we just saw. And a design replicated on Egyptian temples at Karnak also exists, and in tomb paintings along the Nile. So that's really cool. The same motif also appears in Greece, carved in the Theseum in Athens. And even along the caravan routes that once spanned the ancient world. So today, similar boards are still found across Asia and Africa, and they're etched in the earth, you know, or crafted from precious stones, ivory, you know. Some sets even have gold in them. So it's crazy what archaeology has been able to find in terms of evidence. William Champion, he was the developer of Kala or Mancala, which is like the modern version of the game in America. Well, he apparently unearthed like an urn painting depicting Ajax and Achilles playing this game during the siege of Troy. And I've seen that I think, that urn, I was going to call it a vase. I've seen that. It doesn't quite, like, you can't really tell what they're playing, but I guess it could be one of those Pit and Pebble games. So the global spread of these Pit and Pebble games can largely be traced back to the movement of the African people across the continents, whether through migration or the transatlantic and eastern slave trades, those tragic circumstances. But that did help to spread the game to other parts of the world. And this migration is reflected in the similarities between game variants found in West Africa and the Caribbean. It's also extremely popular. And today, Oware is played not only across Africa, but also in the Caribbean, the Middle East, Asia, even parts of southern United States and former Soviet states, according to some websites. So There's over 300 variations, from what I understand, of these style of games worldwide. Someone told me on my Instagram that their favorite variant, what did he call it? Bohnenspiel, I believe is what he called. It's called the Baltic bead game. So yeah, that he said that was his favorite version. And that I looked into that just a little bit. So this one is slightly different. It's called Das Bohnenspiel. It's German. And apparently this one is pretty much the same game as Oware, but the capturing is different, which is interesting. I'd like to try this one out. You can capture if the pit ends with 2, 4, or 6 beans, but no other number. So Oware is 2 or 3. This one has 3 possibilities. It's actually pretty interesting. It's easy to remember. It's just it's even numbers, 2, 4, 6. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out. See what strategies and possibilities that opens up. And I guess also you start with each pit with 5. So that's pretty cool because I think I have enough. This game came, my Mancala version came with enough to try this version out. So check that out, Das Bohnenspiel. There's at least one guy out there who said this is his favorite version of the game. So yeah, 300 variations of these games all over the world. That's insane. That's crazy. That's a lot to try out. I wonder which one is the reigning champion. Which one's the best? It seems like Oware is the most popular. It's the most well-known. And it's one that I enjoy. So I'm perfectly happy with this. There's another version I mentioned very briefly. It's actually a different board. It's got 4 rows, and it's called Bao. My friend, as I mentioned, has this board. He bought it over there in Africa. And I'd like to try that out. Let's see if we can maybe do a gameplay of that. If I can get him to come over here, that would be a cool video. Even Oware has different smaller, tiny variants. And it has different names too. It's like Wari, Awale, Awele. And also it's also called Abapa, which I guess this translates to the good version. And that's, from what I understand, used in certain competitions. Abapa is a game for adults, but there's also simpler versions called Nam Nam, and this would be for children. In Ghana, Oware has long been more than just a game. It's like a symbol of royal and cultural heritage, super important. The kings of Asante and Den Kira, they played this on intricately carved ivory boards, and they often had like tables that had Oware boards etched into them. So it's very culturally significant for Africans, for people from the Caribbean. And let's see here. There's also, according to Oware.org, there's also an Ashanti legend that suggests that Oware was born from a union, a man and woman seeking more time to play together. They decided to marry each other so that they could just continue playing because they never wanted to stop. So they got married, and that's why the game is called Wari, which is the Akan word for marriage. So that's kind of interesting. And it's not just and that this is actually pretty interesting. In a lot of videos I saw, it's not just a 2-player game. It's like a communal activity. A lot of times, the whole village will be like sitting around 2 players, but they'll be talking about the game. They'll be, oh, you should do this, you should do that. a lot of spectators give advice and commentary, which is like completely different from like the dry, like starch like chess world where everyone's so serious and you got to be quiet and people have to think. Also, like with games like Go and Shogi, it's like silence. You even have to like pick up the pieces in Go like a certain way to minimize sound, and then you slap it down, but you can't like reach your hand into the bowl and like make a bunch of noise grabbing your piece. You have to like grab it with 2 fingers so that it doesn't make a lot of noise. Like there's so many like rules and etiquette, but it seems like in this part of the world culturally, this is like just like a it's like a spectator sport. I think that's kind of cool. It's not so serious, I guess. People can talk during the social event. I really like that. Because it's entertainment, ultimately. That's what games are, Let's see, what else can we say? What else can we say about Oware? It's an educational tool, It's been used in schools to teach mathematics, strategic thinking, And I think it's getting more and more popular. I think people are starting to wake up and realize, oh, it's not Mancala. It's there's some other variants that are a bit deeper, I would say. So if you're someone who has only ever played Mancala, if you were like me, you remember back your childhood, especially in the, in United States, summer camps, just so much Mancala going on. I would encourage you to explore some of the, in my opinion, the better game. Oware is much better than Mancala, I would say. So check it out. I think this totally has universal appeal. I think it bridges cultures, generations. I think it's a game that's here to stay. Okay. So I am actually playing on a tablet, which is Android, because my iPhone is recording this video, so I can't play the app that I'm used to playing on. But I found a different game on the Google Play Store, and you can't play any other level of difficulty until you beat the first one. So this is level 1 on this new app, so we'll see how difficult it is. Again, I am not an expert, but let's give it a shot. I am the first player. From what I've heard from one African guy who reviewed the game, he was talking about the game of his country or of his town, that his version of this game. He explained that there's no first player advantage. Doesn't matter who goes first, according to him. So I wonder if that's true. I'm not sure, but I'm going first. Here we go. So I'm going to go here. And my opponent chooses this pit. So what do I want to do? I want to get some seeds here, so that I can come around and scoop them up. So this is vulnerable, potentially, and so is this. It's not a good idea to take from an adjacent pit of an empty one, because then you have 2 empty side by side, and you're opening up for the opponent to do kind of a double capture or triple capture. So you need to be careful with that. You don't want to do that. Typically you want to break it up. So I don't know, you could do like 2, 4, 6, things like this, or 1, 3, and 5. But you don't want to do, 4 and 5 together, for example. I'm going to do this one, the second pit on my row. I can already see I made a mistake. I'm not really thinking this through because I'm too busy talking to you guys. But I can see, yeah, so the opponent did exactly what I thought they would do. They took from here, which is 5. And of course, they're going to capture this. I shouldn't have done that. So they just made a pit of 2. So they captured 2 points. Just going to get rid of that vulnerable pit there. They're going to take this one. Okay. So now I've got some opportunities here. I could use this 6 to hit that. This is a 7. Could also do that. Let's see, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could hit that as well. I think I'll do this. Capture. So we're 2 versus 2. And now it's my opponent's turn. They're going to choose that. Let's see here. So I got to be careful here. I don't want to put seeds here. We've got how many is this? I've seen them watched a couple different videos with people from Africa playing the game, and they often play at the same time. Like, one guy will be taking his turn, the other one's already started his turn already. It's like they know the game so well that they play at the same time. It's crazy. And also, I've seen them just like just at random times, like they'll just like pick up a pit and they'll do this, and I was like, what are they doing? And they're counting. They just like, but they move it so fast. They pick it up and they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they slap it down. It's really, really cool. I like the way they play. It's really impressive. Maybe I'll put a link in the description so you can watch that video. Let's take a look here. I'm really worried about these because anything I choose is going to seed these, and then they can choose this and swoop around and capture. I don't think there's much I can do here. Also, I'm not very focused. I'm focused on making a video. I'm focused on making my tablet awake. We're just going to go with this. All right. So we got 8 here. Here we've got 8. I'm going to try to make this a 9, so we're going to throw that in there. Oh boy. Okay, no captures for them. Just hit this. Easy capture. 4 versus 2, I'm winning. They choose this. It's my turn. Got 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can't capture that. This is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's there. Yeah, I should know that. One swoop is 12. If it has 12 seeds, that means it's a complete loop. Obviously. Well, not playing very well, am I? I'll move that out of the way. They're going to use their 3 here. This has got 10. This has got 10. This is 1. They got 5 here, so they could hit this. We got to get rid of that. So now they're seeding my side. But this is 10. They hit that, it's going to come over here. So they won't land on my side. This is going to go all the way around and hit here. So I'm safe. I'm not worried about this. I want to get here. Let's see if I can get there. This will get me here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What about this? 11. 11's going to get me here. Let's do that. Okay. We'll do this. And they're going to unleash the bad boy. Whoops. Runaway seed. All right. Capture. They move that. I've got 7 here. This 7 will hit here. Just going to move this here. They're going to hit me here. All right. They're going to move that. I don't think I have any other choice. I'm not playing so well. Even though I'm in the lead, I'm really, honestly, kind of distracted here. We'll blame it on that. Would have been a great opportunity to do a pretty big hit here, but I've got too big a pits. So these pits right now, this would be 12, 13, 14, 15. If I use this, it would wrap around and stop here. This would be 12, 13, 14, 15. If I use this, it would wrap around and stop here. And that's just, he's going to use this and just hit me. And I don't want that to happen. But unfortunately, that's what's about to happen. So, not much else to do. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. This is my own doing here. This particular board that I bought, the pits are a little shallow, but I like the way it looks. I like the seeds. So for me it works. Alright. He uses this for some reason. I don't know why he didn't use that. Maybe it's level 1 difficulty. It's not very good. I'm just going to do a really simple capture here. Yeah, see, this AI sucks. The other app is much more difficult. They would have taken advantage of a lot of my mistakes here on the other app. But this is level 1 on this new app. It's pretty simple to beat, even when I'm not even really thinking that well or doing much of anything. All right, let's see if I can do this. Let me see how many are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, according to the app, it says I made a mistake. Sometimes this happens when you're playing on a physical board and on the tablet at the same time. It says this should have 3. Somehow I've made a miscalculation. Let's see what's going on here. Here's where I made a mistake. This should not be here. This should be here. Sometimes it happens, these things roll around. Okay, let's continue. I'm hitting. He's moving. Okay, I'm gonna use this. Finally get rid of this giant monster. And we're gonna make a small hit here. Boom. That was awesome, actually. So, I landed here. I landed here, and here. A capture there. And then, after that devastation, he's going to do this for some reason, because this bot that I'm playing is terrible. Although, that wasn't a bad move, actually. That actually wasn't a bad move. Alright, so, somehow it said that I made another mistake. I don't know why this keeps happening. But yeah, the app says I have 18. I captured something that I didn't catch. And he has 4. So now we're good. We're up to date. The board looks exactly like the app on the tablet. Let's continue. Yeah, so I think it's pretty obvious what I should do here. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna use this 6. We're gonna make a capture 4, and the game's about to finish here. I've got 22. I need more than 24 to win the game. He's gonna move this to here, and I've got 5, which means I can land here, which is nothing. So he's going to go 1, 2. I think I'll just protect myself here. Oh, this app is not good. So now he's totally opened me up here for a pretty good capture here. So I'm going to hit and get a decent capture here. And with that, I win with 31 points versus 4. So yeah, as you can see, level 1, yeah, it's not a challenge at all. I didn't really get into too much strategy, but as you can see, it is a fun game. Like I said just yesterday, that led to me getting like a grand slam, and that was an awesome feeling. So I hope you enjoyed that gameplay. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys think these videos are too long, if you want something more short form, let me know. I have a lot more abstract classics coming out. I want to talk about, well, I won't spoil the fun, but got a lot of stuff in the pipeline coming. I've got a lot new designs coming. I've got some Solitaire Legends coming this year. I have a new abstract game that I'm really excited about. I am finalizing the rules for Caw. It's just I'm a very slow rules writer. but that game is, for me, essentially completed. So check that out if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it and you're waiting for the final rule set. It is ready. It's just a matter of me writing up the document. Go check out Crux, which is another one of my designs. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. I am in the process of playtesting a lot of the new ideas that you guys have brought up. So I just really appreciate you guys. Check out my Instagram, Offerth Games. Check me out there. And yeah, this has been fun. Thanks a lot.